Good morning. Welcome to ATSU University, Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health, Class of 2023 Commencement Ceremony. I'm Dr. Norman Gevitz, Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs for ATSU. This is a very special day in the lives of those receiving degrees from ATSU University. Family and friends, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, thank you for joining us in honoring these outstanding graduates and recognizing their great achievement. Graduates, you now have the tools and capacity to make a difference in your communities and in the lives of the people you serve. The degree each of you will receive today is not just a credential. It is a testament to your proficiency and competency in mastering a range of difficult subjects. Congratulations, we are proud of you. We wish you the best, and we look forward to hearing from you as you go forward to improve the well-being of all communities. At this time, Dr. George Bluespruce, Assistant Dean of American Indian Affairs for ASDOH, will perform the commencement blessing. Please remain seated for the blessing.
There are 68 dental schools in the United States, and we are fortunate to be able to deliver health care to the majority of American Indians, who 70% of the 565 federally recognized tribes are served by the federal government. Our American Indian people are certainly a part of our mission to treat and cure and provide dental services for a population definitely in need, which is the American Indian community. When the Office of the American Indian Affairs was established, that was 22 years ago. And at that time, since that time, our American Indian dentists have increased through our school of 53 American Indians, who I am happy to say are serving the dental needs of our American Indian communities across the land. And I'm very, very proud that this evening, or this afternoon, I am also going to be hooding my grandson, for whom we are very, very proud. "22 years ago, when I turned 70, my Pueblo tribe of New Mexico designated me a senior elder. And with that came many privileges, one of which was that I would be invited to give invocations in Indian communities and elsewhere. And when I was given this honor, I was also told, be proud, be honored, be grateful that you've been called upon to give a blessing in your native tongue. I will give my blessing in the Tewa dialect, of which there are 4 dialects that make up the tribe in which I come from, the Pueblo tribe of New Mexico. We're the 6th largest tribe in the United States, and so it's appropriate that we have an American Indian on the faculty of this prestigious school, which, by the way, now is ranking up in the top 2% of the best dental schools in the United States. My blessing will be in my mother's dialect, which is the Tewa dialect of the Pueblo tribe, of which there are 4 dialects. And in my mother's Tewa dialect, I will ask the Great Spirit to bless this day, to bless this wonderful faculty, to bless the parents, and to bless the families and the friends of our graduates. And I, for one, am extremely proud and will even say a few words in honor of our graduates. If you will stand now and bow your heads, that's the traditional custom when we give a Pueblo blessing. Sangitamu, novitawai mui, hichangari opowa, kunta woha oke awenge koishi, naimbe sando yositala, dintoya, umbi e andimu, dinfewa na ne sa ondita, dinfewa na ne e kogi, dinfewa na ne e wende, kunta woha, kunta na imbe e inge, kunta na imbe wawatsi, sengere ho en mue. Amen.
Please stand as you are able for the national anthem sung by Dr. Mai Lee Duong, Associate Professor and Class of 2012 graduate.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please join me in welcoming the Dean of the Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health, Dr. Robert Trombley.
Thank you, Dr. Gevitz. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is my honor to introduce this morning's stage party to start things off, and please hold your applause until the end. Starting on my right, Dr. Craig Phelps, class of 1984, Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine and president of AT-Still University. Dr. Danielle Barnett Trapp, class of 2011, School of Osteopathic Medicine in Arizona, and member of ATSU's Board of Trustees. Dr. Norman Gevitz, Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Joseph Creech, Associate Professor and Marshal for the Doctor of Dental Medicine candidates. And Dr. George Bluespruce, Assistant Dean and Assistant Professor. On my left, our keynote speaker today, Dr. Wayne Cottom, who is also our Vice Dean and Associate Professor. Dr. Claire Anderson, class of 2013 of the Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health, and she is our alumni induction speaker today. Dr. Mai Lee Duong, class of 2012, Associate Professor. Dr. Leonard Goldstein, Professor and Assistant Vice President of Clinical Education and Development. Dr. William Lebo, Assistant Professor and Marshal. And seated behind them on the stage are other faculty and members of the Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health. Please welcome our stage party. I would now like to invite any graduates, guests, or faculty who are current or retired members of the uniformed services or first responders to please stand and be recognized. Thank you for all you do for our communities and country. Please be seated. I would also like to recognize the friends and the family in the audience today, those who are joining us on streaming who have supported the graduates on their journey, those who have walked with the class of 2023. Let's give them all a round of applause as well. I'd also like to recognize in our audience today is Mr. Paul Reichert, former member of ATSU Board of Trustees. Mr. Reichert? And now, I would like to introduce the special guests for today's program, the exceptional, amazing class of 2023. Please stand up, class. Oh, all right, you can be seated now. Hopefully that gave everyone a chance to find out where your graduate is at. As Dean of ASDOH, I get the opportunity at this commencement to be able to speak a few words. And I want to start first by saying, class of 2023, we don't view today as your departure from ATSU-ASDOH. No, it's really your lifelong connection. This is what we are doing today, is marking your lifelong connection to ASDOH. And it's not just to your classmates and to the faculty here today, but it's those who were before you and those who will follow you. All of us share a deep commitment to our mission to serve our patients, our profession, our communities. Thank you on behalf of all of us here for choosing ASDOH. We are so very proud to share our connection to each and every one of you. I'd like to take a moment to have you reflect on a quote. It's from John Joseph Powell, and it goes like this: "It's an absolute human certainty that no one can know their own beauty or perceive a sense of their own worth until it's been reflected back to them through the mirror of another loving, caring human being." Say that again. No one can know their own beauty or perceive a sense of their own worth until it's been reflected back to them through the mirror of another loving, caring human being. As you move forward, you're going to face many choices each week and many choices each day. And today marks the special knowledge that you've gained over these past 4 years, the special knowledge and skills in dentistry that are represented by receiving this degree today. And you have the ability to make a unique positive impact. But I want to just kind of share with you one simple thought to help guide you. It can help guide you in your practice, with your patients, your dental team, your fellow professionals, and in your community with the people that you see each day, and in your home with your family and your friends and your loved ones. With each of the many choices that you'll face each day, just keep this in mind. Whenever you have that chance, choose to make someone's life just a little bit better. You now have the power to do that through healing. And you can choose to do that through educating. And you can choose to do that by giving back to your community, to your profession. You might choose to do that through making our healthcare system better. Sometimes it's just as simple as choosing to give someone a smile, a kind word, or a thank you. You chose ASDOH, and we chose you, because I think what we saw in each other is the chance to work together to help make lives just a little bit better, to be that mirror for others to know their own beauty and self-worth. And I think if we all do that together and we each do our own small part and show those around us that we care, I believe we'll make this world a little better place, just one small choice at a time. Together, we are the difference. I want to thank you for choosing ASDOH, and I want to thank you for being the heart of this profession. Thank you. It's now my honor to invite Dr. Danielle Barnett Trapp to the podium, who will give a welcome from the university's Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Dr. Trombley. Welcome to all on behalf of the Board of Trustees of A.T. Still University. Established in 1982 by Dr. Andrew Taylor Still, the university began as the founding college in osteopathic medicine. Over the past 130 years, ATSU has grown from a single discipline school on one campus in Kirksville, Missouri, to a multidisciplinary health professions university with 7 schools on 3 campuses in Kirksville, Missouri, Mesa, Arizona, and Santa Maria, California. as well as an online presence. Our students, faculty, and staff are part of a distinguished heritage emphasizing whole-person healthcare. This approach begins with a belief in the interactions of the body, mind, and spirit, and continues with an understanding of how these dimensions may be treated as one. Each ATSU program integrates whole-person healthcare into its curriculum and emphasizes development of competencies in interprofessional collaboration, cultural proficiency, critical thinking, social responsibility, and interpersonal skills. I congratulate each and every graduate. I wish you great success and joy in your chosen profession, the dental profession, and I hope you will carry with you the many skills and lessons learned from ATSU. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's my honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, Dr. Wayne Cottom, who is Vice Dean of ASDOH. He's a founding administrator of the school, having started with ATSU-ASDOH in 2003, the very first year that we began operations. He was appointed as Director of Integrated Human Sciences to implement an innovative modular basic science curriculum. This role was followed by an appointment as a Clinical Care Director and Associate Dean for Community Partnerships. And since 2015, Dr. Cottom has served as ASDOH's Vice Dean. He graduated from the University of Utah in 1990 and attended dental school at the Oregon Health Sciences University, graduating with honors in 1993. He then completed an advanced education in general dentistry program at the University of Utah Hospital. You can read more about Dr. Cottom's accomplishments and background in the program. As I said earlier, we are the heart of the dental profession at ASDOH, and our students and our staff and our faculty and alumni live that mission each and every day. They make the choice to make those around them, the lives of those around them, just a little bit better. And I've been working with Dr. Cottom since I joined ASDOH 8 years ago. He is not only a trusted colleague, he's also become a close personal friend. Every day, I see his deep passion and compassion for his school, his students and residents, his colleagues, his profession, and the patients and the community that we serve. I think Dr. Cottom shows us each day what it really means to be the heart of the profession. Dr. Cottom, please come forward.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Trombley. Okay. I'd like to start out by making sure that you remember the 4 most important things you learned at ASDOH. Do not tell me that you didn't see this coming, guys. All right? The pterygopalatine fossa is the home of everyone and all things. The V2 enters the pterygopalatine fossa through the foramen rotundum, and the infratemporal fossa is the home of and all things. V3 enters the infratemporal fossa through the foramen ovale, and let's get you those diplomas. It's such an honor for me to speak to you today, and I want to thank Dean Trombley for the opportunity. As I heard his remarks, I wanted to make sure everyone knew. Dr. Trombley and I did not compare notes. We did not compare our speeches, and we did not decide on what to say together. But you will hear some recurring themes. And those recurring themes that you hear are really meant. You can be sure that those are really meant by us and are very important. This is the first time that the white coat speaker has also been at ASDOH, that the white coat speaker has also been the commencement speaker. So I get the privilege of not only welcoming you into the profession, but sending you out to the profession. When I spoke to you 4 years ago, I issued you a few challenges and gave you a bit of an idea of what you could expect as you started on the last leg of your long journey to becoming doctors. I would like to remind you of some of those challenges and congratulate you for meeting those challenges. Then, I will give you some new challenges, considering the opportunity, the privilege, and the responsibilities that you now have as an ASDOH graduate. What I hope you realize is that what you accomplished, what you learned, what you grew into during your 4 years here can now be magnified once you walk out those doors today. 4 years ago, I reminded you of the support you had from your families and loved ones to get you to that day. I promised you that you would have staff, faculty, and administration at ASDOH striving as hard as we could to ensure that you were all seated here together in 4 years, getting your diplomas of Doctors of Dental Medicine. And here you are. Yeah. But most importantly, I challenge you to come together as a class. I challenge you to learn about each other, commit to your mutual success, learn to lean on each other, and I asked you to look to your left and look to your right and commit. You would do your best to see that those two people were sitting here in 4 years. I don't know if you remember who was sitting to your left and right that day, but look around. You met that challenge. And yesterday, Sandy gave a wonderful description of how you all came together as a class. Congratulations. I want you to think about what someone else in your class did over these 4 years to ensure your success. And sometime in the next 48 hours, thank them. Now, as you walk out those doors today and as an ASDOH graduate, my new challenge to you is that you magnify that charge. Commit right now to the mutual success of all your future colleagues. Build a professional network through study clubs, organized dentistry, and service, and LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, but not TikTok, okay? All right. That will help you be as successful as possible. Build that network that will help you be as successful as possible and to which you can give your contribution to their success. Your potential impact is orders of magnitude greater now. Indeed, only when you truly do this will your patients be best served and the trust in the profession be strengthened. As you may recall from our anatomy lectures, it was Dr. Albert Schweitzer who said, "I do not know what your destiny will be, but I do know this. The only ones of you who will be happy are those who have sought and found out how to serve." Commit now to serve your future colleagues as you have served your class. You now have the opportunity, the privilege, and the responsibility to do so. 4 years ago, I spoke of the special place that ASDOH was. I spoke of how we built a highly respected school with a unique and very special mission, vision, and environment that produced spectacularly trained clinicians and compassionate, community-minded health professionals that will lead the profession. You are one of them now. I spoke of how we had a school with a venerable tradition, not a traditional school, but a school with a tradition, and that you are poised to become part of that tradition today. I encourage you to feel the excitement and satisfaction of that, but also feel a bit of the weight and responsibility that comes with having the privilege of being part of this tradition. I told you that you would add your unique contribution to ASDOH, like a Dutch oven that has a little bit of every meal that has ever been cooked in it. And I asked you to commit that your contribution to ASDOH would be a decidedly positive and additive one. You met that challenge. Each and every one of you has made a very special contribution to the tradition of ASDOH. We as faculty and administrators can sometimes focus a bit too much on how lucky you students are to be here and that we chose you to come to our school. I think we would do well to recognize a bit more often that you chose us. And we are grateful that you did. You have enriched our lives and enriched ASDOH. Would all of the faculty and staff here today please thank this wonderful class for what they've given us over the past 4 years. Now, as you walk out those doors today as an ASDOH graduate, my new challenge to you is to consider this. Even more consequential than the respect and tradition that ASDOH has built and that you entered into 4 years ago, the trust, respect, and tradition of the profession you will officially enter when you walk across the stage today. That trust and tradition has been built over more than 2 centuries, and that trust, respect, and tradition is part of what you inherit when you walk out those doors today. I challenge you now to decide what your unique contribution to the profession is going to be. I challenge you to commit that your contribution to the profession be a decidedly positive and additive one. Your potential impact is orders of magnitude greater now. You may recall when I spoke to you during your D1 year about the many ways one can contribute to how the profession serves the community. The entrepreneurs making lots of money who can build safety net clinics and sponsor mission trips. The community and public health dentists who are in the clinics providing care directly to the underserved. And the vast workforce of private, group, and other types of practices that volunteer and care for the rest of the population. We will be proud of you whatever you do, but whatever you do, commit now to leave the profession better, just like you have done for ASDOH. You now have the opportunity, the privilege, and the responsibility to do so. 4 years ago, I spoke about this profession that you are about to enter, that you are about to take an oath to that profession, and you will take that oath again today. I pointed out that you are not taking an oath to the patients, you are not taking an oath to ASDOH, you are not taking an oath to the community or the public, you are not taking an oath to yourself. You are taking an oath to the profession. I spoke about the special position of trust that the profession holds within society and the privileges and responsibilities that come with that trust. I told you that you would begin to take on the obligations that arose from the implied social contract between the dental profession and society. And I illustrated that trust and those obligations with an example from my own practice at the Phoenix Indian Medical Center. Now, 4 years ago, none of you had had the experience that I described. Today, as I remind you of that experience of mine, I want you to think of how many times you have now had this experience. Being a contract dentist, I saw patients only 1 day a week, and as a consequence, usually didn't see the same patient twice. The patients would be assigned to me 1 day and someone else the next. Nonetheless, I would come into the operatory and introduce myself for the first time to this patient as Dr. Cotton. Sound familiar? We would exchange pleasantries. I would explain what we were going to do that day, ask them if they had any questions or concerns. I would fully address them, and then a remarkable thing happened. After meeting me for the first time only minutes before, the patient allowed me to lay them back. They opened their mouth. They allowed me to inject drugs and performed irreversible procedures about which they knew practically nothing and which they could not directly observe me perform. Let that sink in. You have now done the very same thing many, many times. Even more remarkably, You could not actually introduce yourself as doctor, but rather were required to let them know in some manner that you are still in training. Those patients had not developed trust in either of us individually, nor had we done anything directly to earn it, but they allowed us to treat them because of their trust in the profession. That is our inheritance upon entering the profession. Now, in exchange for that trust, our profession's contract with that patient, and by extension society, is that we have a license to practice. We have demonstrated competence to the appropriate regulatory agencies. We have the training and expertise to perform the procedures proposed. We have kept up on the latest techniques and materials. We are doing the procedures in as safe and effective manner as possible. And most important, whatever we do, we are going to do in the patient's best interest and not in our own interests. That if during that procedure we come to a clinical decision that could either benefit us or the patient, we will unfailingly and without hesitation or question make the decision that benefits the patient. When you walk out those doors today as an ASDOH graduate, that trust and the social contract that comes with it will be fully vested in you to fulfill individually and without supervision. My new challenge to you is, do not violate that trust. For while the social contract is between society and the profession, that trust can either be edified or eroded based on your individual behavior. Commit now to honor that trust and uphold that contract. You now have the opportunity, the privilege, and the responsibility to do so. And your potential impact is orders of magnitude greater now. Remember what Grandma Cottom said. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. As I have mentioned, that trust that we inherit as a result of becoming part of the profession is what has allowed you and I to care for patients before they have developed trust in us individually. Up to now, your experience with patients here at ASDOH and on your rotations has been relatively brief in nature and eventually transient. But when you walk out those doors today, you will have the opportunity to build individual, long-term relationships of trust and respect with your patients, their families, and their communities. Your efforts to do so will only edify and strengthen the trust that society has in the profession and will become some of the most meaningful relationships in your life. When you walk out those doors today as an ASDOH graduate, my new challenge to you is you work hard to build those relationships and use that trust that others have in the profession to build trust in you. You now have the opportunity, the privilege, and the responsibility to do so, and your potential impact is orders of magnitude greater now. If you remember, I quoted Meriwether Lewis, who at one point in his life said he committed to redouble his exertions and in future to live for mankind as I have heretofore lived for myself. Meriwether Lewis came to understand the difference between striving for something for yourself and striving for something for others. That is at the heart of being part of the profession. And when you do that, you are the heart of the profession. And finally, each of you will need to define what success is in your careers. Once you walk out those doors, it will be different for each of you. I would like to ask you to consider including something in what Ralph Waldo Emerson said in your definition of success. And yes, you've heard this before. Success. to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. As you walk out those doors today, you now have the opportunity to do that. More importantly, you have the privilege to do that. And most importantly, you have the responsibility to do that. I have no doubt that every one of you will meet this challenge as well. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Kadam. Eloquently put, as always. In your programs, you'll see that our next part of the program would be to provide an honorary degree to Mr. Gerard Moufflet. Unfortunately, we had some last-minute unforeseen circumstances that he could not join us today, so we will not be providing that to him as part of today's ceremony, but you can read more about Gerard's accomplishments in your programs. Which leads us to the presentation of candidates for the MPH degree. Public health is the field devoted to preventing disease, prolonging life, and promoting health through organized community efforts and informed choices of society, organizations, communities, and individuals. The Master of Public Health degree is a professional master's degree awarded for studies in areas related to public health, focusing on improving health through identification, prevention, and solutions to community health needs. All of our ASDOH graduates earn a certificate in public health with an emphasis on dentistry. And some of our students decide to complete the entire master's degree program while earning their dental degree. I'm going to be joined by Dr. Scott Howell, Dr. Taylor Velasquez, and Dr. Sammy Yinneman, who will be presenting and hooding the Master of Public Health candidates. President Phelps, the candidates for the Master of Public Health have successfully completed the requirements for their degrees. And on behalf of ATSU's College of Graduate Health Studies, and upon the faculty and program director's recommendations, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Will the candidates for the Master of Public Health please rise and proceed to the stair.
Jolene Ann Chen. Nicole Yip. Jaspreet Nijar. Atish Shah. Kylie Yineman. Hannah Liz Bibat. Christian M. Garlick. Tajpal Singh Golwar. Nam Justin N. Lam. Shervin Shasavari. Austin James Westling. Pratana Arun Kumar. Eve S. Pence.
Let's turn the house lights up a little bit so we can see our graduates, please. Yay. Public health graduates, please stand. Please stand. Those that just received their diploma, thank you. Yay. Upon the recommendation of the faculty, dean, and senior vice president of academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the state of Arizona, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree, Master of Public Health, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Thank you, President Phelps. Now for the presentation of the candidates for the DMD degree. Dental medicine involves the art and science of prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of conditions, diseases, and disorders of the oral cavity, maxillofacial, and associated regions. Graduates of the Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health are educated to become technically adept dentists who will be caring, community-minded healthcare professionals and education leaders serving those at risk. For the presentation and hooding ceremony, President Phelps and I will be assisted by Drs. Maureen Perry and Janet Wolt. The candidates will be presented in alphabetical order by their comprehensive care units, and unless otherwise announced, will be hooded by the directors of the candidates' comprehensive care units as listed in the program. I invite the guest hooders right now who are seated behind the graduates to please come forward and be escorted to the stage. President Phelps, the candidates for the Doctor of Dental Medicine degree have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Dental Medicine class of 2023 please rise and proceed to the stage?
Rohit P. Advani, hooded by Dr. Prakash Advani. Taylor Reed Anderson, hooded by Dr. Thomas Anderson. Kevin Thomas Ariano, hooded by Dr. Stan Ariano. Shannon Marie Bland, hooded by Dr. Christina Bender. Alicia Chowda, hooded by Ricky Singh. Jolene Ann Chen, hooded by Dr. John Chen. Nicole Yip. Don't go until I say it. Connor Michael Hare, hooded by Dr. George Hare. Kimia Gorda Marty. Jennifer Lee Knickerbocker. Farpoor Namaranian. Jaspreet Nijar, hooded by Dr. Sandy Nijar. Neil K. Patel. E. Few. Reena Rana, hooded by Dr. Inderpreet Rana. Atish Shah. Stephanie Papademetrio Stevenson, hooded by Dr. Catherine Smith and Dr. Michael Papademetrio. Kylie Yineman, hooded by Dr. Sammy Yineman. Sandy Ushra Yusuf. Haya Barakat, hooded by Suhir Aswad. Natalia G. Barguth, hooded by Dr. George Barguth. Hannah Liz Bibat, hooded by Dr. Erlinda Kalantak. Jessica Marley Carroll, hooded by Dr. Joel Carroll. Christian M. Garlick. Laura Hanjai Gu. Joshua Michael Hannencraft. Ali Amin Hussein. Rachel Michelle Hodo. Oh my. Pedram Kajay, hooded by Dr. Patrick Kajay. Fatima M. Kermani. Austin Larson, hooded by Dr. Ryan Larson. Rahima Mahmoudi. Ray Matani, hooded by Dr. Elena Matani. Yusuf Mortano. Quoc Nguyen. Jordan Elizabeth Nolan. Teham Sayud, hooded by Dr. Irfan Sayud. Kelsey Ann Sargent. Faye Young.
Jasmine E. Ahrar. Junhung Choi. Joshua Cade Clark. Julie Doe. Allison D. Gann, hooded by Dr. Vince Placido. Tejpal Singh Golwar. Shivani Gupta, hooded by Dr. Ravi Gupta. Trisha In. Nicole Kristen Kowalski. Nam Justin N. Lamb. Hooded by Dat Nguyen. Bansi Muhandra Patel. Thomas Trenton Pursley. Cassidy Reeder. Hooded by Dr. George Blue Spruce. Ted Esteban Rico. Christine Gabby Cabaz. Being hooded by Dr. Liliana Cabaz. Shervin Shahsavari. Ashley Nicole Span. Austin James Wessling. Being hooded by Dr. Victoria Lee. Jonathan Abrams. Samra Ali. Maria Beckett. Jessica Ruby Camacho. Hooded by Dr. Priscilla Ganastillo. Michelle L. Clift. Kaylee Galloway, being hooded by Dr. Stanley Arellano. Michaela Jade Hamlin. Timothy James Hinderleiter. Mir Kamal. Prarthuna Arun Kumar. Minan Mansoor, hooded by Dr. Monica Mansoor. Kat Lisbona Morgan. Nava Nawamuz, being hooded by Dr. Caroline Yoon. Eve S. Pence. Julia Ellen Poyer. Sarib Saud, hooded by Dr. Irfan Saud. Tayam Taka, hooded by Dr. Samar Al-Samerai. Theodore Wolfgang Tran. Andrew Yoon.
Great, please stand. Great. Not the audience, just the graduates, but I'll give you an honorary degree. That's the first time that's happened. That was kind of cool. A little bit of power up here on the stage. Wow, that was wonderful. Upon the recommendation of the faculty dean and senior vice president of academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the state of Arizona, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Dental Medicine with all the rights, privilege, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors.
Thank you, President Phelps. Wait, there's more. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Jeffrey Parent, Associate Dean and Assistant Professor, to the podium to administer the oath to the profession. Dr. Parent?
Thank you, Dean. The oath to the profession. The oath is located on page 16 of the commencement program. This is the second time these graduates will take this oath. The first time was at their white coat ceremony. Now, graduates, you are about to officially enter the profession, and these words may have a new meaning and importance. As you take this oath to your profession, listen to the words as I say them. Then repeat after me, giving them the emphasis you individually now feel for them. And say it so loud that your family can hear in the very back row. I invite all dentists on stage and in the audience to participate in the oath. Class of 2023, please stand. Sorry, this one more time. One more time. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I pledge to faithfully fulfill my obligations as a member of the dental profession. My responsibility is to promote the health of the community and the persons I serve. The health of my patients will be my first commitment. My practice depends upon the trust of my patients. I will not violate that trust. I will do no harm. I will honor my peers. I will respect the diversity they bring to the profession and commit to our mutual success. I will honor my patients' dignity. I will be their zealous advocate, sensitive to their feelings, needs, and thoughts. I will not discriminate against any person in my decisions and care. I recognize the limits of my competence. I will seek knowledge and inspiration from my colleagues whenever my patients' needs require. I will strive to improve my knowledge and skills. I am responsible for contributing to the improvement of the community. I will strive to prevent disease and to correct adverse social conditions. I will serve as both a teacher and role model for my patients, my successors, and the public. I am responsible for upholding my profession's integrity. I will strive to counsel those deficient in character or competence and expose those who engage in fraud or deception. I will use my professional knowledge according to the laws of humanity. With this oath, I willingly assume these responsibilities. Thank you, and you can sit down.
Thank you, Dr. Parent. Since 1892, A.T. Still University has graduated almost 35,000 proud alumni. And today, we welcome you to our alumni family. Representing the ATSU Alumni Association is Dr. Claire Anderson, alumna of the ASDOH class of 2013. Dr. Anderson?
Thank you, Dr. Trombley. Graduates, please stand for your formal induction into the Alumni Association. Graduates, as a member of the Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health Alumni Chapter, and by the authority vested in me by the ATSU Alumni Association, it is my pleasure and privilege to formally induct you as individuals and as a class into the membership of the A.T. Still University Alumni Association. On behalf of the other university alumni worldwide, it is my pleasure and privilege to congratulate you now as the newest members of the A.T. Still University Alumni Association. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. As we conclude our ceremony, our commencement ceremony, I would like to welcome, once again, President Phelps to the podium for his closing remarks. President Phelps.
Thank you. Fantastic. What a great day. We're almost done, so just a couple minutes. I will be short. Dr. Trombley, I'd like you to stand up just for a moment. This is an unplanned. I just wanted to thank Dr. Trombley for all he has done for the Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health and for A.T. Still University. Just a special individual who, practices what he talks about and walks the walk. Dr. Trombley, thank you. Fantastic. Thank you. Dr. Barnett Trapp, thank you for your words earlier. Dr. Cottom, that was inspirational. Just enjoyed your passion, the stories, and thank you very much. Dean Trombley, your words, especially with the charge of the dean, we love that. Dr. Blue Spruce, so great to see you. 3 years, we missed you. We're so happy that you made it today. Dr. Parent, thank you for leading us in the oath. Dr. Anderson, thank you for leading us in that alumni charge. It's amazing how many alumni who I run into throughout the country, and also the number of alumni who come back and are on our ASDOH faculty. It's just a tremendous testament to this great, great program. Dr. DeWong, as always, thank you for the beautiful national anthem. I think that always kind of chokes us up a little bit. And I know Dr. Blue Spruce, having served in the armed forces, that was a very special moment for you. Many of you may not know that Dr. Blue Spruce held significant positions within the federal government. And as you read through his bio, it's pretty impressive. He also has a book that talks about his journey that I would encourage any young health professional to read. But he was responsible for the passing of a bill, or shall we say law, or for provisions to educate American dentists from our Indian community. And they have, through that program, have educated over 500 American Indian dentists. So congratulations and thank you. Michelle Fiore, thank you and your team at ASDOH for all the staff work on this. Our student affairs group, our communications and marketing, our technologies, IT, and the folks in the President's office and others, thank you for helping put these graduations together. You do a tremendous job. Thank you to the ASDOH faculty and staff for celebrating with us today and for taking care of these wonderful graduates during their time at ATSU and ASDOH. Thank you so much, faculty and staff. You are truly world class. It was funny because when I do go around the country and when I hear folks speak, the ASDOH Dental School is always mentioned those top 3 throughout the country, so it was wonderful to hear, I think, someone else who validated that top 1 or 2 position. And it's really, the skills are great, the diagnostics are great, professionalism is fantastic, but it's that community anchoring that you're out there doing tremendous work that's literally making a huge difference. So thanks again. The folks at the Mesa Arts Center are always grateful for you, keeping us in line, making sure we're going the right way. Thank you for being here today, and thank you to the Mesa Arts folks. As Dr. Cottom said, in a few minutes, when you walk through those doors, your life will be forever changed. The calling to provide care to others is like no other. Patients and their families will share their most intimate details with you. And as Dr. Cottom said, let you enter their oral cavity with a high-speed drill, which is somewhat terrifying to us that aren't dentists. While they're sharing those details with you, they're at a time of emotional and physical pain, uncertainty, and vulnerability. Fortunately, your families, faculty, staff, and yourselves have prepared for this special calling. Only you can do it. As much as we love our phones, ChatGPT, and social media, treating the whole person, body, mind, and spirit is done one-on-one in partnership and collaboration with your patient. Dr. Still emphasized in his works, finding disease is relatively easy. Our job is to help our patients find health. Your future is in our hands. Until we meet again, Godspeed.